Hello everyone, as you can see, we have some new Black Series figures in front of us. This is a Droid Depot exclusive, but you were able to get it on Shop Disney for pre-order. I don't know if it's going to come back or not. It was only up for a very short amount of time. Luckily, we were able to use discounts if you had any. But for the most part, you're really only going to be able to get this in the parks. So either at Batuu East or Batuu West. Last time I was at Batuu East, they did not have it. I'm happy to be able to unbox this. I have unboxed similar parks exclusive Black Series figures, and I'll leave a link to the original Droid Depot pack up here. That way you can take a closer look at that. I don't know if it's still available or not, but I'm super excited about this one, mostly because of this guy right here. We've got the Pit Droid and then also Babu Frik. So what we're going to do first is take a look at the outside of the box. We'll go ahead and unbox it, take a look at each of these figures' articulation, and then what we'll do also is compare them to similar-ish figures that we may or may not already have as well. So, first of all, we've got K-7R1, which is this guy right here. We've got CB-23, which is like the BB unit here. Got the Pit Droid, which is this guy. We've got Babu Frik, obviously, and then we've got our battle droid in the back. Coming alongside here, basically just giving us what it's got, and then we've got some Arabesh on there as well. And then we've got lots of descriptions here, so let's go ahead and start here with K-7R1. Hoping to be reactivated, the KX security droid with black and white plating known as K-7R1 was dismantled and displayed in the Droid Depot by the proprietary Mubo. Moving on to CB-23 here. A maroon and turquoise BB astromech unit, CB-23 is a member of the Resistance and serves as Poe Dameron's co-pilot for a short period of time while BB-8 was on another mission. Interesting. Pit Droid. Now this is the first time we're seeing a Pit Droid, so that's why I'm super excited about this. The cheap and expendable Pit Droids often bolt out to repair still cycling superheated pod racer engines with no regard to their personal safety. Babu Frik, a tiny droidsmith normally found working among the spice runners of I can never pronounce these. Kijimi. There we go. The well-regarded Babu Frik can reprogram or modify virtually any droid regardless of the security measures protecting its systems. And lastly, we have Battle Droid. The soulless ranks of the Separatist armies are dominated by tall, thin B-1 battle droids controlled by centralized command center. They often suffer programming glitches that manifest as personality quirks. All right. On this side, nothing here, except we got this guy here, which is really interesting. And then what we can do is open this guy up, and there we go. We've got a little bit of information here. Throughout the galaxy, droids are programmed for a variety of tasks. The Droid Depot is filled with a variety of different types of droids from across the galaxy, including astromech droids, battle droids, protocol droids, pit droids, security droids, and more. Awesome. And then moving right along here, we have a closer look here at K-7R1, the CB-23 unit, the Pit Droid, Babu Frik, and the Battle Droid with his blaster and antenna there. Like I said, we've seen similar figures before. We've seen the K2SO, which is going to have a very similar build to this, I believe, and we'll compare that. We've received other BB units, never had a Pit Droid. There was a Babu Frik that we did get at one point, but I did not get him. He came with a C-3PO that I did not get, so looking forward to that. And then we've got a battle droid that we'll be comparing it against as well. So let's go ahead and take them out. These are always hit and miss as far as the best way to do it. Typically, I think it's best to go from the bottom here. If you've got any questions while we go through this, make sure to ask down below. All right. All right, got everything out. We'll go ahead and get everything cleaned up and we'll be right back. All right, so as you can see, we've got the figures out of the packaging here, all cleaned up a little bit. I really think the star of the show here is going to be the Pit Droid or possibly K-7R1. You know, we do have the K2SO over here, but you know, you can never have too many of these security droids. But we'll take a closer look here in just a minute. Let's go ahead and take a look at the articulation and whatnot of Babu Frik first. He's the smallest of the bunch here. We are able to, hopefully you're able to see this. As far as motion, we do have the ability to move his visor up and down. His head has don't think his head has any movement. The body does have some twists left and right. No movement at the legs. Arms, we do have a little bit of movement. It's a tiny little ball joint there. So you're just going to have to be super careful with that figure. But certainly like that. Looking forward to taking a closer look at him with some pictures. We have our battle droid. This battle droid is exactly the same as the battle droids we've received in the past. That's why we've got this guy over there. If you've never seen a battle droid before, I will leave a link up here to take a closer look at this guy. But basically, in short, you've got the antenna on the backpack here that do raise up. I think both of them do. Yeah, both of them do raise. And they lower as well. You've got the back here for his antenna on his head. That does move up and down. Be careful though, that does come off pretty easily. And you've got a ball joint there, and then you've got a joint at the bottom. Arms aren't really going to come out too much, but you are able to do a 360 at the shoulder there. At the elbow, you just have up and down movements, but you are able to get a full 90, possibly more, actually more than that. Movement at the torso is pretty good up and down. You're not really going to have too much of a twist motion there. Legs, super good. Super good as far as what you're able to do with this guy. As far as getting him to go small, not a problem. And then if you take off the backpack here, you are able to put on this antenna, I believe, but you're not able to do both. So just keep that in mind. It's this one, there we go. So that's the only thing to keep in mind is you're not able to have both on. I usually don't use this antenna. However, if you've got enough battle droids, it is kind of nice to put them all together and have different looks. The other thing too, you've got a little notch right here, and that is where the blaster is able to go as well. So we'll go ahead and put that together just like that. Battle droid, have fun there. We'll leave the Pit Droid because, like I said, I think he's going to be the star of the show. We've got CB-23. So his head is able to do some good movements all the way around. And you just got to be careful because depending on the bobble and the way that the counterweight is on the inside, he's going to kind of wobble a little bit. But as you can see, here's a BB unit that we've had in the past. Very similar in size. You've got a little bit different, in the top here. One's flat, the other one's round. But as far as weight is concerned, they weigh about the same. And the counterweight system is the same as well. But yeah, can never have too many droids. That's basically the way I look at it. And then you've got K-7R1. Like I said, it's going to be very similar to K2SO. The paint scale is a little bit different, obviously, but I think it's a good looking figure. I really like it. I'll leave a link right here for K2SO. That way you can take a closer look at that. And if we bring this guy over here, you can really see the articulation. I mean, as far as the joints are exactly the same, just different paint apps, which, I mean, really there's no reason to do anything else on Hasbro's part. So no complaints. Though what's interesting is, we don't have any emblems up here. But yeah, pretty good looking figure though. You are able to get him in some good positions. I typically will have him seated, only because he is so massive, and just the way that the weight distribution is, it can be a problem sometimes, but they hold pretty well. So we'll see. Something to show off as well. The joints here, they've got some clear plastic. I don't know if that's coming up on the camera. The benefit of that is that it looks like it is an open air joint. And you can see that there and there as well. But it is definitely filled. So yeah. Like I said, if you've got any questions as we're going through this, make sure to ask down below. And we're going to take some pictures here in just a moment. And that's where you're really going to see what these figures can do. All right. And then we have our little Pit Droid here. He is super cute. Unfortunately, we're not going to get him to collapse down into those small forms that we sometimes see. In fact, what we saw in the last Book of Boba Fett, I think it was in episode 5, we saw the Pit Droids there as well. So yeah. So at the bottom, at the head here, you've got a couple of different joints. I think it's just a single ball joint right there. And then, yeah, it doesn't have another joint. But you're able to move the head pretty much any way you want. Neck, you've got a single joint as well. I don't think, yeah, you're not going to be able to turn the head. Limit there. Very tiny ball joint at the shoulder, so you're able to get a little bit of motion there. Arms do bend. However, looking at this, we actually have two. Look at that. We have two different joints there. We've got one here and one here. So pretty cool. I like that. And I think it's the same on both. Yeah, same on both sides. And the hand, you're able to, at the wrist, you're able to turn. Hands don't open and close, however. You do have a good movement at the torso, basically only going to go up and down, and then you've got a twist at the little bit lower at the joint. At the hip, you've got some good motion there, and legs will basically go like that. So that gives you a good idea as far as what you're able to do as far as the position is concerned. All right, so with that, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and take some pictures, and we'll be right back. All right, well, I think that was a good look at the figures. You know, who were your favorites? I know I definitely have mine. I don't want to influence you too much, but yeah, I mean, I think for me, the stars of the show were definitely K-7R1 and the Pit Droid. Like I said before, you can't have too many other like R series or B series droids, so happy to have those because you can always have those running around. And then Babu Frik, he's just a cute little guy. But anyways, so taking a closer look at this, as far as pricing on this is concerned, I'd say it's about right, maybe a little bit over, probably a little bit over what you would normally want to pay for this, but at the same time, this is the first time that we're seeing a Pit Droid, so you know they're going to be able to get away with it. But yeah, articulation wise, K-7R1 and the Battle Droid exactly the same as what we've seen in previous figures. So that's really it. So anyways, if you have any questions about the figures, make sure to ask down below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, I invite you to do so. We do lots of things on the channel that a professional geek might find interesting. And with that, have a great day.